Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the OurCricket podcast. I am Joe Gardner, professional cricketer, doing the intro for the first time with Dan Jadzovic. And this week, we've got a very special guest. And there's a bit of a highlight reel to kick things off this week. She's the youngest ever player, male or female, to represent South Australia at 15 years old and 150 days. On her international debut, took a wicket with her very first ball, has represented her country across all three formats, winning a T20 World Cup, an ODI World Cup, and a gold medal at the Commonwealth Games, is a back-to-back WBBL champion currently, and today has taken the most wickets in the 100, men's or women's competitions. So if you haven't worked out who it is yet, please welcome to the podcast Amanda J. Wellington. Hello, how are you?
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on board. How's the London life treating you? How's the Oval Invincibles?
Yeah, absolutely loving the Oval Invincibles, and loving the London life. But to be fair, there's just way too many people in London for me. I'm not a London gal.
So busy, isn't it?
Oh, honestly, it's mayhem.
You go out, you leave the hotel for what you feel like is going to be a nice, relaxed afternoon, morning, go for a wander, and then you remember that it's the school holidays, and you get to South Bank and you realise that everyone's paying for to go on the attractions like the London Eye and the Dungeons and the Shrek Adventure or whatever it is, and it's actually not that relaxing anyway because you're navigating your way past however many hundreds of people.
Yeah, 100%. And like, there's a massive queue for the yogurt as well, the frozen yogurt. So like, guys, I want my frozen yogurt. Get out, go away.
Is this how your wild night out started last night? Just for a relaxing stroll down South Bank and turned into a rocking back into the hotel I mean, what time was it, Joe? Did you say? I don't. Would it be fair? Are we allowed to give times?
I mean, we can give times. I'm not 100% sure on it. Obviously, we had to get the night bus. I mean, we were being economical with our journey home, which was an experience in itself. I must admit. And obviously, you had to swing by the Golden Arches for a bit of restorative food. But yeah, no, it was. Thankfully, it wasn't too busy last night. But in the daytimes, it's been crackers.
Yes, 100%. Too many people for my liking.
You love to see it. Well, we're going to talk, about cricket. We're going to talk about Australia. We're going to talk about the 100. We're going to talk about social media for you as well. If you're listening to this or you're watching this on YouTube, if you could drop the like on the video, you could leave us a 5-star review on any of the audio platforms. That would be really helpful. And maybe drop us a comment as to who you might like to see next as a guest. I'd like to start off with something incredibly highbrow, though. And we've kind of dabbled in it now and again. And we occasionally have a conversation from the cordon. And I don't know, not that familiar. Do you find yourself first, second, slip, gully on occasions? Because there's some great conversations go on in the cordon.
Oh yeah, I'm a first slipper, so I love the conversations. I love just talking rubbish, absolute rubbish.
In which case, you're so on board for this section. Joe just runs like boundary to boundary, so she never gets involved in this.
She's
stuff,
getting the case. She's someone who should wear my GPS. I shouldn't wear a GPS.
All right. Well, so me and
I don't travel.
Me and you then, Joe, you can kind of chip in at the end if you want. But I was driving back the other day, and I do quite a few miles. Unfortunately, my poor old car is going to not thank me for it at the end of the summer. But I was filling it up the other day. And I pulled into the petrol station, or maybe, is it a gas station in Australia? I don't know.
No,
petrol station. Okay, cool. I'm just checking which side of the latitude we're going on. Yeah. And speaking of sides, it had me wondering. And I was thinking, like the fuel filler caps on the side of the cars.
Yeah.
And you have you can fill up your car from both sides of a petrol pump, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Do car manufacturers have to decide as to who's going to put their filler cap on the right or left-hand side of the car? And is it a 50-50 split between car manufacturers? Or do Mercedes have to make equal car split between right and left-hand side filler caps? Because otherwise you're going to end up with a mile-long queue for right-hand filler caps or you're going to have to drape like some scummy fuel hose over the back of your car to get round to the other side. It's a serious question, Joe.
It
I
is
can
a
see
serious
you
question,
laughing
yeah.
and sniggering
Yeah.
there in the corner.
I reckon surely it's 50-50 because you don't want traffic to build up, you know, waiting. And servos would hate you for it, wouldn't they? They'd be like writing,
so.
yeah, oh god, yeah. They would write like letters to them. Be like, stop making cars with fuel caps on one side. Come on, what about the other? Give us some love.
This is what I'm thinking. This is what was puzzling me. And like follow up, do you think then like the CEOs of these companies will get together once a year to kind of decide as to which is going to go on which side? Like,
yeah, I reckon they've got like a big whiteboard with all the, you know, I reckon. And it's like 80% here, 70% there. Yeah, 100%. And then did you also notice like on the fuel gauge, it tells you which side the fuel thing is on? I never knew that. I never knew that until like a couple of months ago.
That's one of those. That is one of those kind of life-changing moments, isn't it?
It's very helpful.
Because it's one of those things you never remember.
And you forget. You're like, oh, Jesus, I got to go fill up. What side is it? Actually, I'm trying to look outside my mirror. I can't see.
No, it's true. It's true. Any thoughts, Joe? Or are you quite happy just running like deep mid-wicket to deep mid-wicket right now?
I wasn't sure where that question was going to end up.
Where could it possibly have gone, Joe? It was such a clean, simple question.
I know, but I'm never sure with your random thoughts that you get while you're driving. And I'm never quite sure. It's just a great question though. Like, how has that come into your head? It's gone deep level to think about what the car manufacturers are doing. I mean, yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect Corden chat, to be fair. So I'm just going to carry on running past you both as you natter on.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And we'll give you a high five or a wave every now and then.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work just fine.
I can't really work out, Joe, whether you feel like you're missing out or not.
I reckon she's dozing off with the fairies.
No, I'm not that fussed.
She's too busy worrying about where her field placement is.
Yeah, to be fair, it is stressful. It is a bit stressful. Yeah, I have a bit more.
Especially with lefty and righty.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that. I feel like I have more to think about than you guys. Just going to stand next to the wicketkeeper. That's fine.
Yeah, very true.
And that's what frees up that real estate in your head to come up with these brilliant topics of conversation, Joe.
Yeah,
it lives rent free in your head.
Yeah, I obviously mine's obviously too full to think of anything as high techy as that.
Well,
high techy.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think I'll certainly think of more stuff because I spend a lot of time sat in traffic and.
Oh yeah, trust me, I think of that stuff as well. Random weird questions.
See,
it's brilliant.
Joe thought I was the only one.
It's like, I've got a random question. If you punch yourself in the face and it hurts, are you strong or are you weak?
That is a great question, isn't it?
That is a good one.
Yeah.
That is a
strong.
Because are you strong? Are you both? Are you both? Because you're strong enough to punch yourself in the face, but then you're weak because you take the punch. Like,
it depends how much it hurts, doesn't it? Just depending on how. Yeah. I mean, I'd definitely confirm to fate. I reckon if you punch yourself in the face, you'd be stupid.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
Come back to me. Let me think about it as the podcast goes on, because otherwise we're going to sit here in silence for 5 minutes, and that doesn't make for a great audio platform, does it? Joe, do you want to take back control of this kind of ship that's sailing towards something? I'm not really quite sure what it's going to, and I'll keep thinking about punching myself in the face.
Back to the cricket then, I guess. Yeah, Wello, how? Let's start from the top or from the bottom, whichever way you want to look at it. How did young Amanda get into cricket, and why leg spin? Because we all know how hard leg spin is to master as a skill, and I feel like you've got it quite nailed down.
Yeah, obviously, like from a younger age, like played cricket within the family. Father used to play cricket, professional cricket as well. So yeah, always used to play in the backyard. funny enough, I used to be a pace bowler.
Classic.
Until classic. You know, we all got to start as a seamer. And then we, you know, choose the brighter side. But no, I think for me personally, I was stupid enough to do a flip on the monkey bars at school, and I landed face first in the ground, and broke both of my wrist at once, and I had these cast on, and I still wanted to play cricket, so I played cricket with two cast on, and like I tried to bowl pace, but for me, like as a young kid, I thought I was bowling leg spin because I couldn't actually hold the ball, and I was bowling like leg cutters. And I was like, oh, this is sick, like like moving the ball from right to left, and yeah, I just from that day, like I was like, I'm going to become a leg spinner, and then yeah, just started bowling leg spin. Dad taught me in the backyard. He actually made a pitch in the backyard, like a turf pitch, so we could practice, which was pretty sick. There's this funny video going around of me, like, as a young kid. I'll have to find it. And you could see, like, our turf pitch, young Amanda, like, bowling these leg spin, but they were full tosses, like, typical leg spinner. But yeah, like, Dad was teaching me in the backyard, watching Shane Warne on YouTube, trying to pick up cues here and there. And yeah, I'm still learning to this day to actually perfect it, but I feel like I'm sort of close, but still so far away.
Kind of feels like a rite of passage, doesn't it, for every Australian to have bowled leg spin at some
Yeah,
point in their life?
at some point.
Yeah. Kind of, you're
100%.
not a proper Australian if you haven't given it a good go.
Nah, God no.
And to be fair, 100%. I think
100%.
most of us over this side of the kind of the map would probably give leg spin a go, just because, like, you struggle to think of anything that's more satisfying to watch a batter look more stupid as they've not picked like 100%. A leggy or a googly or something like that, and it's ragged.
Or just run past one.
Exactly. And I mean, it's only happened probably once or twice in my very kind of esteemed village cricket career, and most of that's happened in the nets. But when it does happen, it feels so good.
It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Something about it. I just love like making people look stupid, and the amount of times, like, just like you would think they would learn to not run past it, but they still do it. Like, it's unbelievable.
It's too tempting. Joe's going to give you a huge rap at the start of the podcast, and it's lucky that we put your phone into landscape, wasn't it, before we started? Otherwise, I think you might have been struggling to have kind of fit the ego in as it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. But some incredibly impressive achievements and statistics and accolades to your name. If you had to pick kind of 3 moments in your career up to this point that you'd go, they're the bits that I am most proud about. And it might not be one of those accolades. It might be something considerably smaller. It might be something that people don't know. What would they be if you look back now?
If I have to look back, definitely it would be obviously debuting for Australia, like in all 3 formats. Like, it's an unbelievable thing to do, especially at a young age as well. Like, that's everyone's dream, to play international cricket. Like, even just to get a baggy green, like, it's unbelievable. Like, I played 1 test, but to have that baggy green is pretty cool. One thing I do love to look back on is the fact that my parents would travel so far to watch me play. Like, I remember my first debut was in Coffs Harbour in Sydney, and they drove from Adelaide to Coffs Harbour to watch me play, which was pretty cool. And then even drove to North Sydney Oval for my test match, and drove to Melbourne to watch me debut for T20. So that's probably one of my proudest things, is like having parents that support me so well and just want to see me succeed. And, I always want to make them proud, and I feel like I've definitely done that, especially the way
that.
Yeah,
sorry
they drove,
to interrupt.
Yeah,
I've just googled that.
I knew that's what you did.
Yeah,
that's like
drove.
2,000 kilometers.
Yeah, so
20 hours without stopping.
Yeah. So they drove from Adelaide to Coffs Harbour to North Sydney to Melbourne. Yeah, so a lot of dedication, but and a lot of stupidity, but absolutely love him for it, honestly. Like crazy parents, but yeah, wouldn't trade him for the world.
Just the 4,000 kilometer round trip.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys do that here.
Doesn't even look that far when you look on the map of
It
Australia,
doesn't,
does it? It's
literally,
tiny.
but Australia is massive though. Like even to Adelaide to Melbourne is 9 hours driving.
No, it's
Crazy.
incredible. That is incredible.
Yeah. Don't really know a third one. Yeah. No, I think I'll just stick with the two in terms of just debuting for Australia and yeah, making my parents proud and just seeing their looks on their face when I got the caps and just hugging them. Even like my dad's not, my dad doesn't show emotion a lot, but like I solely remember, and I've got a video of it. Like as soon as I made my ODI debut, he came up and hugged me straight away. I was like, oh, this is weird. Yeah.
No, well, two incredible kind of achievements and things to look back on. And yeah, a 4,000 kilometer round trip is, as I've said once, is so impressive.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It is genuinely crazy. Yeah, genuinely crazy. But yeah, amazing to be able to look back on those.
Yeah, 100%. I think core memories, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I know we always talk about like how much we travel around in this country, but
yeah,
I guess for you guys in Australia, like it's not like you're going to a game that's an hour or a couple of hours away. Like you've got to hop on a plane, which is however much money, or sit in your car for God knows how long. I can't imagine what that must be like, but I know that when you've got parents in the crowd that are watching you and stuff, it does just fill you that. It just fills you up that little bit more, I think, knowing that there's almost like a higher sort of reason as to like why it's so good to be out there on the pitch, and obviously representing your country is an unbelievable achievement, and across all three formats is fantastic. Would you say that there is someone that you hate bowling against, or someone that you haven't got out in your illustrious career that you'd love to get out? I mean, I feel like you've got every female cricketer out on the planet, so that
have you got Joe out?
Yeah, I ran past one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm in that club, don't you worry.
She's in my pockets in the nets. No, we have a great battle in the nets.
Yeah, we need to be fair. It's good fun.
Yeah,
it's great fun.
It's good fun, yeah. You're the only person that moves around. No one else does. But no, yeah, literally get stuck. But no, back to the question. I genuinely love bowling to someone like a Mignon Dupree or like a Sova Divine, just because it is such a battle. But in terms of getting out, it's like, to be fair, like there's not just one person. I always love to get the big dog out. Like in a team, you're playing against the big dogs. You want to get them out. You want that bragging right. You want to, you want to get the one up against them. So I think like, yeah, if it's not a certain player, it's just the big dog in the team. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you've done that pretty well for us in the 100 so far as well.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you've come on getting a wicket in your first set and it being one of the key players in the opposition team is like having someone that can come into the game and impact it so quickly, and yeah, kind of make those game changing moments is massive.
Yeah, definitely. Like, sorry, I was gonna say, like, for example, in that Welsh Fire game, I really wanted to bowl to Hayley Matthews and managed to bowl one to her, and then bloody Kathy takes a specky. So yeah, just someone like her is unbelievable.
I'm not a bowler, and it's incredibly interesting to hear you say that, because I had never heard anybody say that before as their kind of cue for I suppose kind of challenge or competitiveness. I guess it's kind of like, I want to get the big guy out. And I was on commentary with Graham White on Wednesday. And again, I'd never heard it before. And he said exactly the same thing. He was like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get the big fish. I wanted to get the big player out. That's how I fired myself up for the battle, for the game. And yeah, considering I've done what I've done for however long I have and never heard it up to that point, I've now heard it twice in about 2 days. So nice to know that it is actually a consistent thing. So yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Again, going back to that introduction, we'll keep going back to it because why not? And there's better ways to say this, but you've been around, Wello. You've been around. You've WBBL, 100, Caribbean Premier League, Australia, various other competitions, formats, games, clubs as well in your career from a young age. But what's your kind of... I've got a follow-up to this as well, actually, which I think is kind of an interesting one. But what is it you really enjoy about this specific competition, the 100 that you're in right now, compared to and like the WBBL, for example? And then my follow-up question to it would be is if you could bring anything from Australia in any level of cricket to the UK, what are you bringing?
I think generally I just love the 100. I love competing over here, and I think for me personally as a spin bowler, like I love the conditions. I think the conditions suit me so well over here, just the pitch and the way I get so much turnover here. And I think generally, like for the 100, I feel like I just fit in so well. Like everyone embraces my quirkiness, my weirdness, and I don't actually have to put on a mask to be someone else or someone different. I can just stroll into a different team and be who I am and get accepted. Like, not saying that I don't get accepted back at home, but I just feel like more people are so accepting of it here rather than home. Which is interesting to feel that, like, and to see it happening. But like, so many people get behind me in the 100, and I've noticed a real big like appreciation of myself this year. Like I love watching the games back and seeing what people say or talk about, like if it's whether it's about my bowling, whether it's about my energy, like my smiling on the field, like my I remember one of the commentators saying that they've never seen a happier cricketer in their life. Like, if they could only live a day in a life of my life. So that's pretty cool to witness and to hear. In terms of bringing something over from Australia to England, probably the weather. Like, there's so much rain here. It's quite shocking. But no, I generally think one thing I would actually bring from England cricket over to Australia is just the marketing and the appreciation of cricket itself and the game. You guys do it so well, and I talk about it so much in terms of, I think with the Big Bash, like, yes, the standard may be a bit higher, but I think in all different facets with the 100, your marketing, your the way you play back-to-back games, the double headers, I think generally you have the right marketing tools and you do it so well. And I think we could do that in Australia. I don't understand why we're not doing it. Like, I understand we've got a platform, we can make a platform for the women's game, but I generally think they're missing out on an opportunity to market the game as a whole.
Yeah,
that's
interesting.
One for, I think it's one for CA and stuff to, it's not my job, but yeah.
I mean, it's been fairly well documented, and I don't think you'd struggle to have kind of avoided the fact that the 100 received a fair bit of criticism and still does from various kind of pockets of cricket fans in the UK and potentially some from around the world as well. And whatever people's stance is on that particular point and whether it was needed, whether it wasn't, all of this other kind of stuff, I don't think anybody could ever argue with the fact that the ECB haven't gone kind of full kind of balls to the wall with the marketing side of things here. They whether it wasn't needed, whatever, but they've certainly given it every possible opportunity for it to be successful. And as you say, in comparison to pretty much anything else you see around the world, in whether that's male or female cricket, whether it's franchised, international, anything like that, you don't really see anybody going quite as hard as what they're doing with this competition.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, like, also it's honestly so much fun to play in the 100. Like, I generally enjoy it so much. You've got sellout crowds, you've got you got fireworks, you've got dancers, you've got singers in between. You've got a 30-minute gap in between games, which is perfect. As soon as the females game's done, the males are out there, doing the coin toss, warming up. You've got it down packed, and I don't understand why a lot of tournaments can't do that. Just doesn't make sense to me, but I understand with broadcasting and all that sort of stuff. But yeah,
it's been massively successful, hasn't it? And I was speaking to Dan a couple of weeks ago about how much I've enjoyed the 100 as a domestic player, and just how different it is from sort of, I guess, regional cricket in this country, in that you kind of play a domestic regional game, and it feels like at times you've pretty much only got like your friends and family in the crowd, and then you get out on the stage at the Oval and these big grounds, and it feels completely different. And like, I remember in my first couple of years of the competition, like, feeling super, super nervous, thinking, I've never played in front of this many people before. This is a massive culture shock. And then it's just grown exponentially, really, since, like, you see even these games in the past week or so, like the attendance records being broken and everything like that. And it's been brilliant for our game, that's for sure. And hopefully we can top off the 100 for you this year, Wello, by getting you one of those winners medals. That would be good.
Yeah, I'd like that, because I got several runners-up ones. Great.
Yeah, nobody wants one of them, hey?
No, put it in the bin.
Just on, obviously, just mentioned like regional cricket, and you've been at Western Storm for the whole of this season, which again, it's brilliant to see overseas players wanting to come across and play in our domestic competitions and really drive that standard forward even more. Obviously, the pool and strength of the talent in this country is only going one way, as a result of the investment and everything that's come in. But the fact that we can now increase that standard and competitiveness even more by having the likes of yourself coming over and kind of documenting what it's like on your platforms and what have you, to kind of be in the shoes of what it's like as a pro at domestic level in this country, is unbelievable. How has it been at Western Storm and Bristol, obviously, other than great British weather?
Other than the weather, it's been honestly fantastic. Like, it's my first full summer here in the UK, and I'm absolutely loving it. I've even looked to do it almost every year now, so that's my goal, is to sign a contract every year. So I'm looking forward to that, and trying to find a home, whoever wants me out there. But no, I generally have enjoyed it so much, and like, just the Western Storm girls, they're young, they're exciting. I know it's not, the most successful group, but like, some of the talents we've got in that group are unbelievable. Like, someone like a Sophia Smale, like, or even, when she does play, Lauren Filer or Danielle Gibson, or we've got some young people, even on loans. I love the fact that you guys have loans. Like, that baffles me that not many people do that, or many clubs. I know back at home we have nothing like that. It's you have so much talent within a group. Why wouldn't you want them to play? And if they can't get into your 11, loan them out to a club so they can play. Like, I absolutely love that idea. But I guess back in the Western Storm, it's a great environment. Really glad that I chose the Western Storm for my first year, because it's been awesome, honestly. Even like just living in Bristol, and like living 10 minutes from the ground, walking to the ground almost every day, going to the gym, good coffee, I guess, around, trying to find one. But it's been amazing, honestly. And like I said, I'm really hoping I can do it for a long period of time in the future.
Will change, isn't it, next year? No more Western Storm, no more
Sunrisers. Somerset.
County cricketers.
County cricketers. Professionals.
Sounds like there's going to be another team to add to your repertoire.
Hopefully.
If you're looking to come back over and play in the comp again. playing the comps again next year.
Comps,
which,
yeah.
He's fantastic, as I say.
Joey, I feel like you need to go for this next question, because I feel like I need to go on the deep dive for the Amanda Jade Wellington social media content.
Yeah,
I feel like I need to kind of bring out the big questions there.
You're gonna stalk me, are you? Yeah.
All right then. I'll finish off with the final sort of cricket question. Now this is something that we've done with. We did it with John Boy. Did we do it with Josh, the 5-a-side? Can't remember.
Can't remember.
Might have done. No, it was me, wasn't it? It was me and John Boy so far. Yeah. If you could pick your dream 5-a-side team, now this can be a combination of males, females, whatever. That you're just getting the best combo of 5 players. You can include yourself in it, obviously, if you want to as well.
I don't think I'd make my top 5.
Yeah, who's your dream 5-a-side team?
First and foremost, what format are we playing?
It's like T20.
T20.
Or T10.
Okay.
T10. 5-a-side. T10.
T10. Oh,
it's just getting shorter
right.
and shorter, isn't it?
Okay. See, it's hard because I feel like I could do a 5-a-side male side and a 5-a-side female side. But if it has to be together, I reckon I'm going Suryakumar Yadav to open the batting with Smriti Mandana. So we got left and right hand combination. And then my third one, I'm going to go with... Do I want a keeper?
Of course you want a keeper. Why is there all this kind of like discrimination towards wicket keepers in world cricket right now? You have to have a wicket keeper.
I know, but I don't know if I want to.
Do I want a keeper?
Yeah,
that's outrageous.
I'm just thinking, my 2 can't bowl, so
I have feelings too, you know. Wicket keepers are real people.
Are they?
They bring you questions about fuel filler caps. Well, what more do you want?
Yeah, very true. Good keepers. I'm gonna go with a Rashid Pant. So he's another lefty. But then, okay, so that's keeper. Bowler, I'm gonna go with my number 5. I'm gonna go with a Megan Schutt because she hoops them, and she's in my side. So gotta give her some love. But my number 4. I'm going to go with an Adam Zampa for a spinner. Yeah, just mixing it up. Yeah, that's 5. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real interesting
I feel like
I've got
yeah, I know it is. I've got so many options. So like I'm just generally sitting here thinking there's so many options. It's just unbelievable. Cricketers around. Like, I could easily replace Shooter with a Jaspreet Bumrah, but then I'm just filling my team with Indians.
There is so much. That's what makes these 5-a-side things so tricky. And like, if we get to a point where we've had a few guests and we've got these teams lined up on paper, we've got to do some kind of poll down and work out what the fans think the best was.
Some form of like simulated 5-a-side cricket match between.
Surely you could do that now with AI.
I would imagine so, but I don't know whether I have the time to do it. But yeah, I'd imagine it's doable.
I'm sure you do somewhere, probably.
Yeah, and it's not like that. That's a conversation that doesn't even take into consideration players from the past either.
No, exactly.
You've got cricketers like Jacques Kallis kicking about, who would be utterly perfect for that kind of
or like a
weird format
Pollard or something like that.
Exactly.
Or AB de Villiers or crazy.
Yeah. There's a few.
Like,
there's a few options.
To be fair, if it was like all women's side, I could name you so many teams as well. Like I could go Smithy Mandana, Hayley Matthews, Laura Harris, Darcy Brown, and then like a Jess Johnson. Like easily 5 done. Like crazy.
Where's your team? So you can't be wrong. So
no, exactly. I'm always right. So
you've picked some good cricketers. Cricketers. Right, social media. Okay, I've made a few YouTube videos in the past, and I've had a little browse, particularly with the Joe Gardner takeover down at Sophia Gardens.
Oh yeah.
I'm always curious. Like I love it. I love the fact that that people can get access and to people they wouldn't necessarily be able to do so. I love the fact that there's content out there that people can choose to watch, if that makes sense. Like, and not exclusively to yours or professional athletes, but just generally speaking. Like, if you stumble across somebody's page and you go, I don't like that person, never have to watch it again. It's not like mainstream TV that's kind of forced down people's throat, and it's kind of like, well, I don't like them, but you have to watch it because otherwise you got nothing else. But what's your kind of like, what's your motive behind it? What's your drive behind it? Because to be a professional athlete and then to kind of run your own social media stuff on top of that, well, I know the social media side of things is quite busy, and I would imagine being a professional athlete is quite busy as well. But how do you find a balance between the two, and what is your driver for the social media stuff?
Yeah, look, I just generally love it, honestly. Like, I love making content and I love social media. The fact that we have such a unique tool to also like show a side of yourself as a professional cricketer, like, I love it. Like, you know, a lot of people probably hate having a camera in their face, but I generally love it. Like, it's something I enjoy and always look forward to. And like, yeah, I literally do everything myself. So like, even after a cricket game, I'll go home and download all of my footage off my GoPro, edit it all, upload it that night, and do all that stuff. But like, generally, I love it. And also like the fact that I can show people that I am a professional cricketer, but also I am a human being. Like, I am a person. Like, I've got this side other than a cricketer, and like, I always talk about, I always want to be who I am off the field, on the field. So, and I try and show that, and I hope I portray that. But yeah, I just generally love it so much.
And do you have a platform preference? Because there's so many differences, aren't there, now between the and what content works on what platform and what format things are and the length of things. What's your kind of, do you have a preference, I guess?
I don't really have a preference. Like, obviously I'm slowly starting to get used to doing the YouTube stuff, and getting an idea of how to go about it. Like, it's gotten to a point where like editing just takes me 10 minutes now, and that's all done and dusted. But yeah, I just generally enjoy like making reels, doing the cricket content, you know, have the GoPro training in the nets, make it easy. Like, you take a video
when Wellow's about.
No, God no. But like, literally, you have the GoPro in the net for 30 minutes, and then you've got all this footage that you can reel off 5 reels, and you know, you can, nowadays with social media, you can actually schedule when you want them going out. So, you know, you can cut that into 5 different videos, schedule it for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So you're almost planning ahead, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I think, as you say, to kind of have access to people that you wouldn't normally be able to do so. And as you said, highlight the fact that you are a human being behind a professional athlete, and there is more to just bowling leg spin, I think is brilliant. I do have to say, Joe, and I don't really want to kind of call you out on it, but the start of your cameo in that video down in Cardiff, it did look like you were holding a camera for the first time in your life. That kind of initial kind of, if you could screenshot, I think the look on your face when the camera fires up, I think was quite impressive. Was almost the kind of, oh, okay, there's what is this bit of technology I've just been given? Yeah,
it was hilarious. I was just trying to embrace it as best as possible, and also look as novice as it's obviously come across. So I feel like I had that down to a T. I was, when Wello was batting, I was like lying there on the square, like trying to get all the angles, and Lauren Winfield Hill was in the other net, and she actually thought I was the team's content creator. She didn't realise that it was me doing the GoPro stuff. That was quite funny, actually.
Oh no.
Don't worry, she's got a second go at it tomorrow, so I'm sure she'll be fine. She's going to improve.
Yeah, 100%.
You've hired her again, have you?
Yeah, I've hired her again.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm looking forward to that one. What's on the agenda for the? Does Joe know her role yet, or is that something that you need to kind of speak to her about afterwards?
No, I'll let her go. What if you do? You, honey.
I think tomorrow, Welly, you can teach me how to bowl a few leggies. I'm in the market for a little while.
Okay. Yeah. I reckon
20 balls. What do you reckon?
Get that in the Joe Gardner armory.
Oof, imagine. Hey, to be fair, she's bowled a few bouncers.
Lethal.
It's quite.
Yeah, it's just because she's angry though.
To be fair, she bowls are quite quick. So
I was just trying to utilise being a bit when I was a seamer, you know. You just got to try and keep adding to the bag of tricks, because when you're an intermittent bowler, shall I say, like myself, you've got to, I feel like it's just got to try and have as many different tricks in the bag.
You never know when you're going to be called upon.
Exactly. I was thinking yesterday in that game, I was actually stood there on the boundary thinking, right, if I randomly got chucked the ball now, what would I be going to bowl? What would my field be? Like, you're just always thinking about it, because you never know what might happen. And I feel like trying to read different situations and think about how you'd go about, like, if you're under the pump and you've been put in a situation where you're called upon, then I feel like it's always good to try and run that through in your head, right?
Yeah, of course. Cricket brain, we love it.
It's more fun in the cordon.
Yeah, true.
So much more fun.
You just get hassled on the boundary. You get heckled at.
I know. I have been shouted at a few times, and someone wanted my glasses last week.
I'm not surprised.
I don't think I get paid enough to be able to throw my glasses into the crowd. I feel like they're protected items.
They're expensive these days.
Give them away. Sorry, guys.
Get a brand deal. Get a brand deal, Joe.
Yeah. How's about that? Obviously, with like the vlogging and the YouTube stuff and GoPro and what have you, you obviously document quite a lot of your life. So people that are tuned into the channels and stuff would know what it is that you get up to. But I guess for the purpose of this, is there a fact or something about you that the general public or people listening to this for the first time or listening to you for the first time wouldn't necessarily know?
Not necessarily. Like, honestly, my life is an open book. I feel like a lot of people know a lot about my life. Like, a lot of people know I love my Pokemon. I'm not shy about that. I love op shopping. I love tattoos. If you can't tell, I'm absolutely covered in them, especially with my leg sleeve. But yeah, I generally just talk so much shit that I don't shut up. Like, I think everyone just knows everything about me, like, generally.
And you've got an impressive sneaker collection, shall we say?
Yeah. I love my sneakers. I'm such a sneakerhead. That's one thing I do spend too much money on, sneakers. Ugh.
No, I can never spend too much money on trainers. No way.
Not like our batting coach in Western Storm, Peter Trigo. He buys like Travis Scott's and throws in Travis Scott's, and I'm like, mate, you're creasing them and like you're getting dirt on them. What are you doing?
How much did Somerset pay Pete Trigo?
Oh, no idea. He's on the big bucks, man. Seriously.
Absolute coin down
Big
in Taunton
bucks.
for Pete Trigo.
Peter
Isn't he like a
Trigo.
professional golfer now as well or something? Pretty sure he's kind of moved on.
He's a professional tryhard. That's what he is.
Okay. All right. Well, no comment on that one. No comment on that one.
I love you, Trigo. I love him.
He's a stylish man, is Pete Trigo. Look, that's been really good fun. That's been really good. It's been great to chat with you. Well, it's been great to get to know you a little bit. Oval Invincibles, where are you guys? You're third in the table right now, aren't you?
Yeah, we're third, yeah.
A London derby ahead of you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Good luck for the rest of the competition. What have you got? 2 games left, isn't it? It's Spirit and Rockets.
Spirit and Rockets, yeah.
Eliminate. Is it Eliminators?
Hopefully,
yes.
Yeah, the Eliminator. If we finish top, we'll go straight through, but yeah. We didn't really help our chances yesterday, did we?
Yeah, less than ideal, but win our last 2 games and we'll see where we're
exactly. At. Yeah, pretty much.
I think as well, I've decided that if you punch yourself in the face, you're pretty weak. I just feel mentally weak, I think, if you're just going to do that kind of thing. That's my closing. That's my closing point on that question.
Yeah, that's fair. Love how you had it answer though. Love it.
Oh, hey, I've been thinking about it since the seatbelt signs went off. Like, I just put some serious work into that. You don't understand. Look, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and thank you very much for listening to this week's episode or watching this week's episode, whichever one you decided to do. And I guess, Joe, you and I will be back post 100 to talk about your escapades in the 100. Get behind the scenes, find out what you've been up to and stuff like that. And or hopefully you can do the video with a medal around your neck as well. That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Striving for that. Keep your eyes peeled.
Look forward to it.
Right. Cheers, Wello.
Thanks, Wello.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.